So you finally decide to source from China, but you don't know what platform to use. Well, in this video, I'm going to describe to you the differences between 1688 and Taobao in China. So some of the key aspects of 168 and Taobao is that these are Chinese market platforms. They're not targeted for foreigners or for international markets. They're targeted for the Chinese people or people living and doing business in China. There are international versions of these platforms known as AliExpress and Alibaba, but they tend to be more expensive and you do reach more problems when it comes to customer service. Now for Taobao, think of this as like the Amazon of China. It's a B2C platform, meaning that you buy one or two items from one person and then you're done. So if you want to buy like a new product, like let's say a new camera comes out and you want to buy it, you buy it and then you're done. That's it. There's no future business transaction afterwards. Usually, so of course there are different cases where that happens, but for the most part, you buy it one time. Whereas for 168, it's more for B2B. They want businesses buying in bulk, but you may not be able to buy onesies and twosies to try. But the good thing about bulk quantities is that you can negotiate pricing. Usually the more you buy, the cheaper you can get the product for and do more for your business and get a higher profit margin for your business. Now going into Taobao. Taobao is probably the most famous online e-commerce platform in China, like hands down. Of course there are others, but the first go-to place is usually Taobao. It's so easy to navigate, whether you're using the mobile version or desktop version, that you can maybe in 3 clicks, maybe 4 clicks, buy something. Like it's pretty crazy. You can take a picture of something that you want to buy, you think it's cool. Taobao will use this algorithm to find that for you, and then you can buy it on the spot. That being said, I have caught people, and myself, go into a store, look at a product, and it's like, man, that's a little bit too pricey. I don't think it should be that expensive in the store. So I snapped a picture of it, and it gave me recommendations of other stores that sell the same item that are usually 50 to 100 RMB cheaper. I did delayed gratification. I bought it on Taobao and waited 2 days for it to come to my house versus buying it in the store directly. And this actually happens a lot in China, not just with me, but it happens a lot with other people. Taobao is a very stable platform that has great buyer protection, and it offers different shipping options. It does ship overseas sometimes, but I don't recommend you ship overseas on the Taobao platform because there are a lot of steps that are purely in Chinese and it may be hard for you to understand. They do have great customer service. You just got to look for the little blue man whenever you're looking at a product, and you can usually chat with them during business hours in China. Usually immediate feedback if they're reputable suppliers. At most, I've had to wait like 8 hours, and sometimes some suppliers are just non-responsive. It was kind of annoying. But yeah, for the most part, you can expect immediate responses from legit suppliers. They do a decent job of weeding out scams and fraudulent accounts. So to open a Taobao store, you do need to set a deposit between 1,000 to 3,000 RMB just to get started. So that barrier to entry kind of helps weed out the scammers. And there is a reporting system if you do have scammers on Taobao trying to sell you something, but they never actually ship you what they're planning to sell. They do a pretty good job with buyer protection. Taobao is also a great place to get a range of prices for a product that you're interested for. So if you want to buy like a new Xiaomi phone, you can look up the new specs on Taobao or take a picture of it, and you can get an idea of what the pricing is like. This is useful information in the event you have someone approach you on another platform like WeChat, and they were to say, hey, I can sell you a brand new Xiaomi phone for 500 RMB. But you look at the market price and it's like 3,000 RMB. Red flag should be going up saying like, yeah, that's a scam. I'm not going to trust you. Thank you for the opportunity though. Just realize that Taobao is usually meant for one-time purchases, but if you want to buy in bulk, then you would go into 1688. With that being said, some Taobao stores have stores in 1688. So what I've done in the past is I bought samples from Taobao from the same supplier. So I can buy 1 or 2 because they let me do that on the platform. And then I do a follow-on purchase on 1688 where I need to buy like 100 or more items. So if you're interested in using Taobao to source from China, check out this video right here. I go through step by step on exactly how to buy from Taobao without having a Chinese bank account or a Chinese address. So now let's go into some aspects of 1688. It's a great place to buy bulk items for a good bargain. Now, a lot of the places don't accept you buying 1 or 2 items. They're mainly aimed at B2B businesses. But I'm not saying they're not out there. There are some stores that I ran into that will let you buy one or two of an item just to try it out and then to go ahead and purchase in bulk afterwards. Like I mentioned, I typically go to Taobao first and then I buy it later on 1688. The supplier just gives me the link on their 1688 store and I buy it from there once I've trusted them. Customer service tends to be a little bit slower. So on Taobao, because it's B2C and if they don't respond quick enough, you're going to lose the customer. But on 1688, it's B2B. I've had cases where they just don't respond to me or I need to call them directly for a response, and it's kind of annoying because they deal more larger quantities. So you may not get the same customer service as you do on Taobao. Competition is quite relentless on 1688. You got to remember, China is a manufacturing country. So if you want to buy a certain item, expect there to be many kinds of suppliers. Just be wary of the comments and the feedback they get from their customers that buy from them. Use that as like a benchmark to say if they're a trustworthy supplier and try to get more information from them just to see if they're like legit or they're trying to scam you. Quality is hard to guarantee on 1688. So the picture on the advertisement may not be the same as the product they give you. So what I recommend, as I mentioned before, buy it from Taobao, one or two, touch it, feel it, get a good understanding. Or if you can go a step further, do a video conference with the supplier, ask him to show you the product like face to face like we are right now. Have them touch it, show you around the different quality and the materials, and then from there you can decide whether or not you're going to purchase the item. If you don't know any ways to video conference Chinese suppliers without dealing with any firewall issues, I highly consider you watch this video on how to contact Chinese suppliers. Shipping. Shipping is a problem. Not because they can't do it, but because it's a big hassle for them to be able to certify to export stuff overseas, so they just don't go through the process. But what you can do is find a freight forwarder. This freight forwarder will help you ship from their factory to your final destination. I recommend door-to-door freight forwarder, as in they pick it up at the factory and then they deal with shipping it to your final destination. Because if you're buying in bulk, domestic shipping can be quite expensive. You're buying large amounts where they need like a pickup truck or they need a large truck to deliver your goods. So just be aware of that. A lot of them have zero interest in shipping overseas because there's a lot of obstacles to ship overseas, a lot of certifications you need to get, like an export license. They just don't want to deal with that. So 99% of the cases that I've dealt with, experience using 1688, is that they can't ship overseas. Use a freight forwarder. I actually know a freight forwarder and I know some freight forwarder groups. So if you have a WeChat account or any other accounts, you can follow me on social media in the description below and I can add you to the relevant groups so you can find your freight forwarder to satisfy your needs. Now, once you do find a legit supplier, you've been doing business with them for a while, then you are at a position where you can negotiate the price even further if you were to do business in the future. But in order to get to this point, you need to be really familiar on how to use 1688. You can watch this video right here. I go step by step on how to use 1688, on how to communicate with the supplier, on how to find the goods you need to find, and pricing comparisons so that you can be confident about the products that the supplier can sell to you. Now I'm going to go into some lessons learned doing business on these platforms. This is just from my experience. Always use a freight forwarder. Even if they say they can ship overseas from the factory, you have a chance of running into problems. You can look in this video right here on how to deal with B2C freight forwarders using WeChat only. It's very convenient and it's a very transparent process and user-friendly to use. So be sure to check out that video. Before I make a big purchase, I typically try to ask for pictures, videos, and a video conference with a supplier so I feel comfortable buying from them because you may not be able to go there physically. Even if you're in China, let's say the supplier is in Fujian and I'm in Guangzhou, well, I can't go there. It's a big hassle to go there in person. So doing a video conference with them is very convenient. Consider taking the conversation outside the platform. Like you can use WeChat or different forms of communication. You can't specifically send them your WeChat QR code, but what you can say is, do you have, well, you'll say this in Chinese, 你有没有 WX? 微信. Don't type in 微信because that can alert the algorithm, but you just put WX and then they'll know what you're talking about and they'll send you the information. But do not do transactions outside of Taobao or 1688 unless you really trust the supplier. If they ask you to pay on WeChat or Alipay without going through the platform on Taobao or 1688, there's no buyer protection. So make sure you actually trust the supplier so that it can be tracked throughout the whole process in the event there were a scam. So I hope you have a better understanding of the key differences between 1688 and Taobao and which one is most beneficial for you in your business. If you found value from this video, smash that like button and consider subscribing to this channel if you want to see weekly tips about doing business and living in China as an expat. If you have any questions I haven't answered, you can write them down in the comments below. You can also follow me on social media and ask me there privately if you're not comfortable writing down in the comments below. I appreciate your time. Keep surviving, and I'll catch you in the next video.